interesting. What's next?
Huh?
I'm still wondering what made you leave Kalea and travel the world to study demonology.
You're not letting this one go, are you? Alright, if your life depends on it, I'll tell you. To make it short, I grew up in the slums of Kalea. A shithole if ever there was one. Just imagine an entire quarter made up of half-ruined shacks with the smell of shit and piss everywhere, and way too many people. Then add the tropical heat to it, and you've got the place I grew up in. My father had left right after I was born. My mother is what you call a day laborer, though the days when she wasn't laboring outweighed the ones when she did. Whatever job there was, she took it. Even if it was cleaning the shit out of Kalaean canals. She worked hard, but it just wasn't enough. We lived in a windowless room, and I shared a bed with my mother for the first 14 years of my life. Long story short, after a while my mother simply couldn't cover the expenses anymore. The rent for our room went up and jobs became less and less, since the mage wars in Northander also affected the trade in Kalea. So my mother looked for someone to help her out, and found one. A man named Creo. He was a loan shark who had it all. A stupid name and a shady beard. 2 lackeys who followed him wherever he went. And above all, a complete lack of what other people would call decency.
I think I can see where this is going.
Sure you can. It's not the most unique of stories, is it? To cut to the chase, 1 year later we were in massive debt. Creo suggested my mother another way of making up for it. You can fill in the blanks. I was just too weak. Over and over this fucking bastard came. Had my mother tell me to go for a walk. And every time I had no choice but to obey. Do you have any idea how it feels, Tahar? To be that powerless? I remember one day I looked in the mirror and realized how much I hated the boy I saw. I hated his body with all its frail bones, his small arms, his bloodshot wet eyes. And that's when I decided to change things. So the next time he came, I fought back.
How did that go?
What do you think? He beat me up. And it was the same next time and the time after that. At first he found it funny. But after the 4th time he threatened to kill me. The only thing that stopped him from doing it is because my mother begged him to. And I had only made it worse. On my 14th name day I left home and joined up with the Kalaean sand prowlers. My mother begged me not to go. But I just couldn't. Standing there and watching this fucking bastard walk into our room again and again whenever he felt like it. I just couldn't. Dying would have been better than staying. The way I figured it was that if I earned enough money to pay Mother's debts, Creo would leave her alone. Once I was strong enough, I'd come back. Wait for him to show up again. And then... well, you can imagine the rest.
I think I can. So who were these sand prowlers?
A group of mercenaries. They took me in and trained me. And even though they were skeptical at first, they quickly realized that my determination made up for what my body was lacking. When I was 16 and I discovered my magic, one of their leaders made me his apprentice. The arcane universities are a shithole made up of boy-loving old geezers who care more about how you wear your hair than about your magic. I'll tell you the real thing. And that she did.
What about your plan to pay your mother's debts? Did that work out?
Well, I thought so at first, but we'll get there.
Was that sand prowler mage also who introduced you to demonology?
What? No, she was a mediocre mage at best. The most powerful thing she could do was lighting someone's hair on fire. Though of course she didn't see it that way. After 1 year I was already stronger than her, and I started my own studies.
What was it like to work with the sand prowlers?
Well, if you were hoping for stories of sex, adventure, and intrigue, I have to disappoint you. Most of it was nasty stuff. Fighting in wars which you knew were wrong, beating up people who were practically helpless. But then again, the Kalaean Guard was no better than that. It was a case of pick your poison.
Huh. So did you ever return to your mother?
Of course. On my 18th name day. I had wanted to return earlier, but a contract had me kept overseas for a lot longer than I had expected. Sorry. It's strange to talk about it.
What happened?
My mother. She was gone. Her room had been cleared out, and the neighbors told me she passed away unexpectedly just 3 weeks before I arrived. Her heart just stopped beating.
I'm sorry.
Why? It was a natural death. She was old when she gave birth to me, and the life on the Chilean streets isn't forgiving. In other words, it was bound to happen. I went into the room and looked for our stash. A small casket under the floorboards. I found it, opened it, and saw all the money I'd sent her over the years.
So...
She never used it to pay Creo as I instructed her. I have no idea why, but my best guess is that she thought it was mine since I earned it. She was that kind of person, you know? No matter how hard fate punched her in the face, she'd cling on to her ideals. Always did what was right rather than what was good for herself. And look what she got in return.
Did you ever visit her grave?
I did, but it was a mass grave. Dozens of corpses, all piled onto each other, and some earth shoveled on top of it. I threw up when I saw it, and never came back after that.
What about Creo?
Well, as you can imagine, I went to look for him. Right after I was able to think straight again. But he was gone.
Where?
I don't know. I asked everywhere and everyone who could know, and they either didn't or gave me different information. After a while, I gave up.
Why?
Because people like Creo are just a reality we have to deal with. I could have killed him, but what good would it have done? My mother was dead, and no amount of bloodshed and gut tearing could have changed that. The world doesn't give a fuck about your ideals, Tahar. About doing the right thing. That's just the shit we tell ourselves to help us sleep at night. You eat or you get eaten. It's that simple. I wasn't strong enough when I should have been. And that's why I couldn't help her. That will never happen again.
I see where you're coming from, but without ideals, we'd be living in the claws of Nor.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. To wrap up the story, I enrolled at the university from the money my mother saved for me. Turned out the Sandprowler mage was wrong. There were some boy-loving professors, but they knew their shit. I studied and practiced until there was nothing left to study. Then I found out about demonology and the power in it. I quit university, and I've been traveling ever since. Taking jobs as a mercenary here and there, but above all, improving my skills. My last stop was Bargagora to summon a devourer.
Huh. And what are you after, in the long run?
I don't know. I'll find out when I get there.
Huh. Interesting story. Thanks for your trust, Uran.
Sure. Hope you're happy.
Let's see.
Tandai, Tahar. Come to trade?
Take a look. I'm sure I've got something that might spark your interest. Come again. May Tiara...
Tandai, Tahar. Come to trade?
You know how to bargain, don't you?
Yes?
To this day, the Shaper's magical and technological prowess remains unrivaled. One thing is...
Will do. Now would you look at that? Okay, I'm ready. Sure this place isn't gonna blow up once we insert the second stone, Iskrim?
What? No, I don't think that's likely.
All right, here we go.
Blasted, blistering blazes! I don't know what to say. This is amazing!
But it seems like it worked. We've restored the Nexus to full power. How are you feeling, Iana?
Overwhelmed. But it's bearable.
What now, though? Is it strong enough to perform this joining ritual?
It should be. And you, Tahar, should be the one to do it. You need to connect your mind to the Nexus. That way, you might be able to sense who or whatever is sending out the song. What do you say? Are you ready?
I think so.
Good. Then step into the forge.
And what now?
Tahar!
We...
Is it over?
Yes, I think so. By the Guardians, that was... I don't know what just happened.
Describe.
There were... voices, screams, thoughts, images.
How do you feel now? I mean, has anything changed?
I think so. Yes. I feel... I don't know. Clearer. As if something in my mind opened up.
Then it worked! Niehaus hammer, we did it! You joined yourself with the Nexus!
So... I am telepathic now?
You're not a dreamweaver. I'd feel it if that were the case.
I don't think you are, but you're connected to this place now. And therefore to the Shaper memories.
Does that mean we can finally locate the cause of the song?
You tell me. Think of the song, Tahar. Close your eyes. What do you feel? What do you hear? What do you see?
I'll try.
A failure. That's what you are.
No. That's impossible.
What is it?
My father. I heard his voice.
Your father? So you think he's behind this?
I also heard the voice of a woman. She whispered something.
A woman? Now this is, interesting. But I still don't understand. Do you really think your father is involved in the blood burn?
I don't. think so. There's more to it, but yes, my father is involved in this somehow.
This is helpful, but it still does not tell us where to start searching. Think hard, Tahar. Is there anything else?
Yes, there were sounds. Drips, crickets, flies, but...
The eye. Your father's laboratory.
Tiara's breath, of course.
The eye? You mean the marshlands?
Yes. My father had a laboratory there, in the old abandoned manor of House Waite. Nobody was allowed to follow him there, not even Rohan or I.
Well, sounds like we have a lead. The Bloodborne and the Song of the White are somehow connected to your father in his laboratory.
So it seems. Yes.
Tahar, maybe...
What?
Never mind. It doesn't matter.
Rohan, tell me.
There's nothing to tell.
Well, if you say so. I'll send a messenger to inform Lacane as soon as possible. He'll want to be there. Let's get prepared.
Tahar, how do you feel? You sounded a bit lost before.
I guess I was. My father's voice, it brought back memories.
And not exactly good ones, I suppose. Well, I hope we can find some answers in the marshlands. Is there anything else you wish to talk about? If not, I best get prepared.
Understood. Let's see.
Yeah, do you need something? I'm a tad busy.
Goodbye.
Iskrim's plan worked. By joining your mind to the collective subconscious of the Shapers, you were able to locate the origin of the Song of the White. The marshlands, also known as the Eye, where your father had a secret laboratory. It seems that Rondar the King was right. One way or another, your family is connected to the Bloodburn.
Tahar, there you are.
Bertrand?
That's my name. The Harbinger sent me to welcome you.
What about Iskander? I thought you'd still be there.
I was, until recently. But that's a long story. We can talk about it later if you want. First, we need to discuss the reason you're here. There's good news and there's bad news. Let me make this short. Sentenza, General Noria, caught wind of our endeavor. He knows we are headed for the Eye.
That's bad. What's the good news?
He wasn't sure of it, so he only came with a small division of soldiers. Still, the fortress is heavily guarded, so we will need more troops to storm it.
Damn it. We left our forces in Mullandir.
I know. There was no way you could have known this would turn into a full-fledged battle. But there's no time to turn back now, and we have to come up with a plan. The Harbinger himself will join you at the fortress, together with some Lightbringers.
Lightbringers? So the Purity has actual soldiers now?
They always had soldiers. The Bane.
What? No, the Bane doesn't belong to the Purity. They believe they do, but the Harbinger has clearly renounced any affiliation with them.
You really believe that? For the Harbinger's right hand, you definitely don't know a lot.
If that's what you want to believe, go ahead. Regarding your question, Tahar, a lot has happened since your escape from Greykeep. More and more people have started to see the light, and it is not just townsfolk and farmers anymore, but also soldiers. They all wish to fight for Aeonir's return, and we guide them.
Sounds like a religious militia. To be honest, I don't like this. Northander doesn't need more armed factions.
Well, what is that army of yours if not a militia? This country is torn, Tahar. It's only natural for people to take up arms and defend their own rights. You of all people should know that.
And how will he do that? If Sentenza has scouts all over the marshlands, he'll see the Purity's army coming from miles away.
That's where you come in. There's a godstone on the mountain of the old castle where your father's laboratory was, and where Sentenza has made his stand. If you kindle it for us, the Harbinger can use his rune to teleport himself and his armies right there.
Huh. That could work.
It will. Aeonir is guiding us, Tahar. Don't ever forget that. I'll wait here to make sure Sentenza's reinforcements don't take us by surprise if they get here before all this is done with.
Can you tell me anything about the marsh?
Well, I take it you're not interested in the folk tales about House Waite's descent into madness, so... No, not really. The only thing you should watch out for are undead. There's quite a lot of them around.
Of course. The Bloodburn.
What do you mean?
The Bloodburn. I don't know how to explain it, but corpses can be affected too. It awakes them.
Oh, that's eerie. Well, but I guess it explains a lot. The swamp has taken hundreds of lives over the years, and if that castle is where the Bloodburn originates from, then, well, you understand.
I still don't understand how Sentenza got wind of this.
I don't know. He is the spy master after all, so I guess it's just one of his many ears who told him.
Bertrand, there's something I'd like to know. What do you make of all this? Do you really think my father is responsible for the Bloodburn?
Well, he must be connected to it somehow. Aeonir himself told the Harbinger this, didn't he? As to why and how, I guess we'll find out.
Once we've secured the Godstone, what then?
The Harbinger will know, but I assume we will storm the place. Once we're on the island, it should be an easy fight.
Shouldn't we try to reason with Sentenza first?
No, I don't think that's wise. Sentenza hates you, and he hates the Purity too. He has been trying to hunt you down since you escaped the keep. We cannot take that risk.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
You will. Aeonir's blessings, Tahar. And stay safe. I'll be here if you need me.
Yes?
Bertrand?
Yes?
I was wondering about the situation in Iskander. How are the Loyalists holding up? The refugees?
Don't ask. Only days after you left, a whole new division of Northander forces arrived. The war goes on, and as for the refugees, House Utran still won't let anyone through who they can't recruit for their army. They've even started to build a wall. It's crazy. We are doing our best to provide the camp with medicine and food, but we're at our limits. How about the caravan? Are they safe? I mean, did they make it to Everlight?
They did, yes.
Good. That's good. Way too many innocents have died already.
Says the man whose cult is burning mages. If that isn't bigotry, I don't know what is.
It's not that simple. Sometimes sacrifices have to be made for the greater good, and every mage gets a fair trial. Only those who abuse their powers get the punishment.
I used my magic to kill 3 men who wanted to rape me. Still, I was found guilty and sentenced to death. Is that fair?
If that is what really happened, then the fault lies with the judge. Again, it's not about the magic itself. Possessing the power isn't the crime. Using it is.
I better get going now.
Of course. May the light guide you, my friend.
Got it.
Sure.
Will do.
For the fire wielders!
Danger up ahead!
Go. All right, here goes nothing.
Danger up ahead!
Deserted.
The hut is still in good shape, though. Maybe the fishermen just left because of the storm?
Look at that. More Nortander folks. No, I still haven't seen that man.
What are you talking about?
Oh, so you're not with the Royal Army. Thank the Guardians. I was getting sick of their questioning. They're looking for someone, a traitor apparently. Which leads me to the question, who are you if you're not with them?
I'm here to explore that castle.
Explore? Well, good luck with that.
And who are you?
Me? Just a lost soul on the search for meaning. Just as my men.
And I guess all those weapons help with that search.
Well, what did you think they're for? Jokes aside, we're mercenaries. But with all that shit that's been going on, we're not so keen to get ourselves involved in another war anymore, no matter the pay. So we just went for a long hike into the blue, and this lovely place is where we ended up. It may look hostile, but the wilderness has plenty of fish to catch and plants to eat, so it's actually not that bad.
What's the story behind that castle? The Eye?
You don't know?
Well, I've heard the rumors. House Waite, their descent into madness.
And that's about it. Some 100 years ago, Parzival Waite, the head of the family who once lived in that lovely ruin on the island, contracted some disease and went completely and utterly bonkers.
How?
Well, he started seeing things, had those dreams of a white city, and said that something is coming to devour the world and that he has to stop it. At first, his wench, they didn't have heirs yet, and rumor had it she was barren, tried to help him, but eventually she lost her mind too. They started putting up crosses everywhere to keep that something from coming, starved themselves, and eventually started sacrificing their servants to the renegade gods to ask them for help. The story got out, and the villagers, at that time there were more, stormed the castle and hanged both him and his wife. End of story.
So there's really no one living in the marsh anymore?
Hardly. There's a small village to the east, Batham or something like that. But I wouldn't advise you to go there. At least not as long as this storm's going on. All that bloody rain has turned the roads into damn death traps.
How so?
You're joking, right? You're in a damn swamp here, friend. One false step and you'll end up as a mummified corpse on the bottom of these ponds.
If you sell swords, can we hire you?
What for?
We want to storm the fortress.
Do you? That's ambitious. I better not ask for the reason, right?
No.
All right. We'll help you if the pay is right.
How's this?
Let me see. Yes, that's fair. Well then, let's get started, shall we? Break is over, boys. Get moving. Aye, Commander.
Zarek guides me.
Get ready! You asked for this.
What do you want?
Is this really necessary?
They will fall.
Blasted armor.
No, there's no getting through here.
Good move.
Sounds like a plan.
More fighting. Does this never end?
Here we go.
At your command.
Fair enough. Let's do
Fine.
this.
I'll keep you shielded.
Whatever's necessary.
Focus, Area. Focus. You got it. That way?
More fighting. Does this never end?
You'll regret this.
Fine.
All right, here goes nothing. Get ready.
Understood.
Sure.
Interesting.
Sure.
I don't think we should go there. The storm's completely soaked the ground. It would be too dangerous.
Good move. Zarek guides me.
Now would you look at that? Got it. The bridge is broken. Must have been the storm. Will do. This is it. Huh. Strange that Sentenza hasn't reacted by now. He must have heard the fighting.
Maybe the storm drowned the noise? It's possible.
But not likely.
All right.
Whatever's necessary.
Danger up ahead. They will fall.
Let's burn them.
I'll keep you shielded.
Alright, why not?
You read my mind.
Interesting. Blocked. Even if it wasn't, shouldn't we get Lacane and his troops enforced?
That's the Godstone Bertrand was talking about. Let's light it. Let's see.
Harbinger.
Carpal. Good work, Tahar. The All-Father clearly smiles on us.
The All-Father has nothing to do with this.
Of course. So, this is where you believe the Bloodburn comes from. Interesting. When Aenir told me the Pariah's blood was involved, I didn't take it so literally. Time to end it.
First of all, we need to get through the gate. Why hasn't General Noria reacted yet? Even if he didn't notice the fighting, he must have seen this teleport.
Because he wants to be the one who ends it.
How do you know?
Because I know men of his kind. He's proud and consumed by his hatred. And he wants to be the one to take you down and me right along with you.
But the Purity is under the Lord Marshal's protection. He can't just kill you.
Well, both Lord Marshal Arendir and the General know by now that I helped you. And even though the evidence wasn't enough to officially sentence me, it will be the moment I show up with you at my side. I knew it would come to this, Tahar. The only reason the Lord Marshal was willing to cooperate with the Purity for so long was because we had the people behind us. We were always a thorn in their sides. And this, me helping a deserter of the crown, is just what they need to take me down.
Then you're taking quite a risk being here.
I'm not. I've told you before. All that is happening according to Aenir's plan. Just have a little faith, Tahar.
Huh. And what now? How do we get past the gate?
Let me take care of it. General Naria. General Naria! Are you ready?
Aren't we walking into a trap?
A battle, but not a trap. Just trust me.
I'm ready.
Just give the word. You got it.
Now would you look at that? Blocked.
Huh? Fine.
Walking right into the lion's den. This has to be by far the most foolish thing I've ever done.
Just trust the Harbinger. He knows what he is doing.
Interesting.
That's the way?
There he is.
Blasted armor.
Zaraka.
Blocked.
Yes?
So this is how it ends.
It doesn't have to.
Doesn't it? What do you suggest, Corporal Tahar? That I let a traitor run free? Together with his lunatic cultist friend who is scheming against the crown? No. We both know that's not an option.
These people in Leonon were innocent. How often do you want me to tell you?
You didn't know! All you had was the word of some elven traitor, yet you risked the life of an entire city for it. Believe me, of all the atrocities I've seen in war, almost all of them are caused by people believing they are doing the right thing. Because that's all it was. You didn't want to save those villagers because you thought they were innocent. You did it because you wanted to be the savior. Vanity. That's what it was all about. And I get it. Part of this is on me. I thought I succeeded in making you a warrior, a servant of the crown, but I failed, and I didn't even see it. You're just like your father.
By the light, General! We both want the same thing. To end the bloodburn? Shouldn't we be helping each other instead?
You're as bad as them, Corporal. Enslaving yourself to this madman rather than facing death like a soldier. You're just a coward.
That's not...
Don't, Bertrand. It's pointless.
We know where the bloodburn comes from, Sentenza. It's this castle. If you kill me, we may never stop it.
Why? What can you do that we, the Royal Army, can't? But thank you for the information. I had been wondering what the fabled Rondar Lacane and the prodigal Corporal wanted in this marsh. Now I know.
You couldn't stop the bloodburn even if you killed us. It's not how Aenir wills it.
Well, we'll see about that.
There needs to be another way.
No, there isn't. Men, you know what to do. This is wrong.
He's gone. I'm sorry it had to come to this, Tahar.
It was his choice. What?
Aye, Commander.
Tahar, what is it? We should not keep the Harbinger waiting.
How do you feel about Sentenza's death?
Honest answer, I don't know what to feel. I mean, did you listen to him? Anselm framed us. He provoked this. But still, it was as if Sentenza didn't even try to listen. I don't understand. He wasn't like that before the war. So I guess the Harbinger is right. He was simply too consumed by his own hatred. Well, let's not talk about it now. Tahar, Aeonir needs you.
Sure. Stay safe, Bertrand.
You too.
It was. Now let us end this. Whatever causes the blood burn is right below our feet. And maybe even some more answers to the questions you've been asking yourself all along the way.
What kind of answers?
Well, maybe there was more to your father than you thought.
Tell me, given that we find and cure the bloodburn down there, what then?
Then we are one step closer to the return.
I'm ready.
Good. You lead the way. Bertrand, you secure the fortress. I doubt there will be Northander reinforcements soon, but we need to be sure.
Of course. Good luck to you, my friend. My prayers are with you.
This way, right?
As you descend the dank stairway of Castle Waite, a memory flickers across your mind. Your father, standing over your cradle, eyeing you with a mixture of affection, indecision, and disgust, almost like an archaeologist looking at a strange discovery. The memory disappears as soon as you and your companions reach the bottom of the stairs. Your father's sanctuary, as if touched by skeletal hands. A cold manifests on your shoulders, slithering, creep.
So this is it. Intriguing.
This place is definitely where the strange magical signature of the marshland comes from.
But what causes it?
We will find out soon enough.
Huh?
Sure. Fair enough. Let's do this.
For the fire wielders!
Here we go. Just give the word.
Now would you look at that?
Sure.
That's the way.
Let's burn this!
Tiara's breath. What was that?
It looks human.
No, these were never alive. I can smell it.
What are you implying?
That they've been created somehow. Didn't you tell us about this nightmare that you've had since you were a child, Tahar? The one in which you saw these bizarre constructs.
Of course. These are the things from my dream.
That's interesting, to say the least.
Whatever's necessary.
You'll regret this.
Sounds like a plan.
Sure. Let's see. Blazes, do you see that?
It talked.
Do you understand me? What happened here? What are you? Huh. It seems to understand us. At least a little. Do you know anything about the blood burn? What are you? Did Isamo create you? I think we're wasting our time here. Let's push on.
We should kill it.
What?
This entire place. It's a blasphemy. Only the All-Father should have the power to shape life like that. And we should free this thing from its suffering.
What? In case you haven't noticed, this thing, it's a miracle. A semi-sentient being created by human hands. If anything, we should study it once all this is over.
We will not kill this thing. It's harmless.
All right. Then do as you wish. Blasphemy. No human should have the power to shape life like this.
Get ready!
So, Lacane, you foresaw all this in your vision.
Not this. But I knew that the pariah was the key to the Bloodburn. I had no idea it would be Asamo Tahar's child, and I didn't know about this place. Otherwise, we would have come here earlier.
Will do. More of them. How many did he create? Interesting.
All right, here goes nothing. That way?
Now would you look at that? Understood.
You got it. Here we go.
Interesting. Let's see.
Blasted armor. Alright, why not?
Now would you look at that?
Good move.
Sure.
Get ready. Sure.
Fine.
Fair enough.
More
Let's do
fighting.
this.
Does this never end?
Got it. Understood.
This way, right?
Let's see.
Something you need?
That's
the way.
Sounds like a plan. Uh-huh.
Bye. That's impossible.
Do you know this thing?
It looks like someone I knew. Back from when I was still fighting for my father.
So she was a rebel.
She defied my father, same as I. That's why he killed her.
Whatever she was, she's a revenant now. In other words, she's dangerous.
Of course. A ghost seeking closure.
I've seen my share of undead, but this is new. What exactly is that? A revenant?
Yal Kadara, a spirit who seeks. When a person dies with an unfulfilled desire, a scourge, that person may return to the world as a revenant, with the purpose of finding closure. It's a magical phenomenon.
Huh. She doesn't seem to be aware of us.
It. And no, it isn't. Revenants are guided by raw emotion and magical auras, rather than sight, touch, or hearing.
If a revenant is a ghost seeking closure, she's here for Isamo, for revenge.
Probably. I think we...
Isamo?
By the light.
You took me, Tahar. You took me. You took Zane. You took your own child. But it's over now. I found you.
Sarek's fangs. It seems to think you are Isamo.
Helena, I...
Yes?
Just give the word.
No. No! It's over. She's dead.
She has been for a long time, Tahar. I don't know what she meant to you, but this creature wasn't your friend.
Will she come back? As another revenant?
Revenants only return once. If not, this world would be haunted by thousands of them. She's with the light now.
I don't understand why she thought I was him.
It doesn't mean anything. A Revenant's mind, if you can call it that, doesn't work like ours. It only reacts to raw emotions and auras. She must have seen the semblance between yours and your father's.
Let's just move on.
good move.